The plan of the Great Reset is that you will die with nothing. To pull off this evil plan, Klaus Schwab's World Economic Forum will need to take more than just material possessions. Senators in this very chamber today who support the Great Reset threaten our privacy, freedom and dignity. Yes, they're in this Senate chamber. Instead of Lib Lab pushing Klaus Schwab's Great Reset with the tagline, "You will own nothing and be happy," One Nation advocates the Great Resist.
Top experts around the world confirmed that the WEF UN policies are what is destroying the crop yields and shutting the world economy down. And the UN admits with the World Economic Forum, we're cutting off the farms to lower carbon because crops and cows produce carbon that's part of the life cycle. Let's play a powerful Australian Senator, Malcolm Roberts, dropping absolute truth bombs on Klaus Schwab and the Great Reset. Two different clips as he lays out the human resistance movement worldwide. You're either for the New World Order or you're against it. We are the resistance. We now have Australian leaders really waking up. So let's play back-to-back Australian Senator Malcolm Rhodes.
The United Nations has a problem. How can they control the carbon footprint of the world's citizens? Very soon, government will tell our farmers what they can grow and punish Australian consumers if they buy the wrong things. The dream of micromanaging individual carbon emissions hinges on the soon-to-be-passed so-called Trusted Digital Identity Bill. If Scott Morrison and Barnaby Joyce want to achieve their net zero 2050 dream, freedoms must be slashed, removed. It is only through the relentless digital stalking of citizens that the Liberal Nationals government can micromanage purchasing choices. Businesses are punished with tax, while consumers get their credit score docked. This already happens in China, where a person's shopping list lowers their social credit score until they cannot travel. In Australia, it may be as simple as denying banking services because you dare to drive a four-wheel drive to work. Australian banks have already shown a keen interest in the Trusted Digital Identity Bill, saying it will, quote, allow them to create a rich view of their customers. These are the same banks that already list climate risk as a means to deny loans. When the Liberals tell you that digital identity will make your life easier, remember, there is no such thing as a free lunch.
This is the mark of the beast. That's their main senator.
Klaus Schwab's life by subscription, quote, is really serfdom. It's slavery. Billionaire globalist corporations will own everything: homes, factories, farms, cars, furniture. And everyday citizens will rent what they need, if their social credit score allows. The plan of the Great Reset is that you will die with nothing. To pull off this evil plan, Klaus Schwab's World Economic Forum will need to take more than just material possessions. Senators in this very chamber today who support the Great Reset threaten our privacy, freedom and dignity. Yes, they're in this Senate chamber. One Nation vehemently opposes the Great Reset, the Digital Identity Bill, theft of agricultural land use, forcing farmers off their land, and all of the Great Reset. One Nation has a comprehensive plan to bring our beautiful country back to sustainable prosperity. And in the months ahead, we will be rolling that plan out. Instead of Lib Lab pushing Klaus Schwab's Great Reset with the tagline, "You will own nothing and be happy," One Nation advocates the Great Resist. We stand for a world where individuals and communities have primacy over predatory globalist billionaires and their quisling bureaucrats, politicians and mouthpiece media. One Nation accepts the challenge to provide a better future for everyday Australia.
And One Nation is one of the patriot anti-New World Order parties growing very fast in Australia. That's what they're panicking, trying to bring in total tyranny. Now, the UN has openly announced their World ID digital system. I told you last year that it had been adopted by China. The UN was in charge of it, but now they've officially rolled it out. I'll play that clip here in a moment. But first, just like you see in Canada, just like you see in the Netherlands, just like you see in New Zealand and Australia, they're banning the first year 30% of the cows, the next year another 30%. So the cows are all banned because they're bad. They have carbon in them. They put off methane. That's good for the environment. This is insane. but it's total control. And New Zealand's main export is what? Lamb. This is so sick. But let's end the hour with the UN officially, and it's also in documents they put out, announcing the new global standard they've got for the World ID, like Sri Lanka just put in with rationing of food and gas, and it's a UN program running it. Here it is.
Digital transformation is changing the way we manage our data, our information, our interactions, and our identities online. The United Nations is ready to digitally transform how it deals with identity, with a system to streamline information sharing, daily workflows, access to platforms and buildings, operating across agencies by providing its personnel with a universal system-wide identity solution. Introducing the UN Digital ID, a unique and digital identity for UN personnel from the day you join to the day you part. All of your personal, HR, medical, travel, security, payroll and pension data in the palm of your hand, giving you full control on what you share and with whom. With blockchain and biometrics, the UN Digital ID makes verification efficient, secure, transparent, immutable, portable and universal. It's been piloted by different agencies and the UN Pension Fund, where they've replaced current manual processes with certainty for who and where pension recipients say they are at any given time. Imagine a regional field officer has just joined the UN. She uses the mobile app to obtain a digital wallet, stored securely in her smartphone and only accessible to her with biometrics. Even better than a physical wallet, she can store all her credentials issued by any UN organisation in her digital wallet. She has immediate access to course certificates, travel clearances from UNDSS, medical records from allergies to vaccinations, also making any transfer to another organisation a breeze. As innovation transforms the world, we can improve the way we manage our identities online. UN Digital IDs, a building block for digital cooperation, unlocking the promise of the SDGs.
And then you see that rainbow crescent symbol. That's the WEF's Great Reset symbol. That's the new swastika. This is their global party. And the UN admits they're going to use this all over the world for everybody else. They're just rolling it out first with their personnel. They want a post-industrial world. They want you poor. And here's Manchin absurdly claims Democrats' Green New Deal, which is just the UN Build Back Better tax and spending spree, will fight inflation. Everybody thinks Manchin is a great guy. Wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. And all these leftists and people make jokes about their private jets and how great they are, and they're not hurting the environment. I'm not against them. But then they say, you shouldn't be able to have children, or you shouldn't have a car, you shouldn't have air conditioning.
It's not just the celebrities, but it's also the government nomenclatura who are enjoying these private jets. John Kerry.
Well, yeah, John Kerry, the climate czar, his private jet takes him all over to climate summits around the world, where he lectures everybody about how we can't possibly let these high crippling prices slow our progress to net zero. Of course, it is what we said before. All these policies are essentially Marxism. It's one rule for the elite, one rule for the rest.
And it is the elite, because I love this line from the story. It was Kerry's family jet. Imagine that, having a family Gulfstream like a family station wagon.
And the whole point is, these globalists don't drive around in cars. They're on helicopters and jets constantly. Like Drake will fly to his house 40 miles away on his 767? What's that hold, like 80 people? So he's got a big jet, I mean a giant jet, and he flies to his house 40 miles away because it takes him 5 minutes to get there versus an hour driving 40 miles in Canada. But he supports carbon taxes on you and your family. These people are greedy, evil sickos. Like Ted Turner's got, 6 kids or whatever? He doesn't want you to be able to have any kids. He's got a fleet of jets and palaces everywhere. But where's the real attack happening? It's on our families. They targeted boys for the last 40 years with Ritalin and all these drugs that stunted their growth and made them mental patients as part of their attack on masculinity. And now they're targeting boys all over the world with puberty blockers particularly, which cause all sorts of health problems and all sorts of mental health problems. And they're not even approved for children, but they're doing it. This is their rollouts.
Now, this warning that the FDA issued was basically saying that puberty blockers can cause serious health risks for our kids. Unfortunately, at almost the exact same time the FDA issued this warning, Biden-Harris administration officials were making public statements actively promoting the use of puberty blockers and irreversible surgeries for kids. Now, let's be clear. This administration is dangerously promoting child abuse.
Yeah, it's child abuse. So for me, the Rubicon is targeting children. You think puberty blockers are bad for children? They are now estimating that 1 million children 6 months and older have been injected just since the FDA approved the experimental deadly COVID shots for them. And we've got some shocking numbers on this biological, chemical holocaust coming up.